Hey everybody, welcome to Hockey Skate Down. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. If you want to join our hockey team, it's free. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell to all. Thank you all so much, and let's get started. I want to do a video on Tomas Tatar. I'm glad I waited another day to do this video because we heard some rumors yesterday about him possibly being linked to the New York Islanders and the Ottawa Senators. So I was going to do a video on that, but I'm glad I waited the extra day because I had a feeling with this whole change of his representation with training camps and preseason right around the corner, I had a feeling this was going to be really soon. So I want to talk about Tomas Tatar signing with the Colorado Avalanche. Yes, I said the Colorado Avalanche. They were not a team that was being rumored to be in on Tomas Tatar, but I really like the signing for them. So I want to talk about Tomas Tatar, how this impacts the Colorado Avalanche, and how it impacts the New Jersey Devils, especially with their prospect, Alexander Holtz. So please stay with me throughout. So Tomas Tatar, he signed a one-year, $1.5 million contract with the Colorado Avalanche. This came a day after news broke that Tomas Tatar switched agents to being represented by Newport Sports Management, who also represented a bunch of New York Islanders. And earlier in the day, we heard that Zach Parise wasn't going to be brought back, or he wasn't coming to the Islanders camp. So kind of assumed he would be a New York Islander. Lou Lamoriello has been talking about maybe possibly adding another forward to round out the depth on their team. And Tomas Tatar was one of the best free agents still out there. So you kind of assumed maybe you saw a PTO or a one-year deal going his way with the Islanders. You heard Elliot Friedman and Jeff Marek talking about on the 32 Thoughts podcast. You heard him talking about how the Pittsburgh Penguins were out of it after being that heavily rumored team to be really pursuing Tomas Tatar. Then it turned into the Islanders and the Ottawa Senators, and then the following day it's the Colorado Avalanche. But I absolutely love this signing. I think it's great for Tomas Tatar. I think it's great for the Colorado Avalanche. You're bringing a player from last year who scored 48 points for 1 year, a $1.5 million contract. That's great. anything he does this year, he's going to be equal value to whatever the contract is. So this is a great signing for them. You add some depth. And, us Devils fans will miss Tomas Tatar. We loved him. He was a great player on and off the ice, great with the fans, great with the team, great with management, and, just a player that played every game. He competed, he battled, and we didn't expect too much of him, but he played really well this year. So you're getting a good player, and he's going to add a lot for your team. So I want to talk about Tatar for a little bit. His past 5 seasons, he had 25 goals, 58 points. 22 goals, 61 points, 10 goals, 30 points, 15 goals, 30 points, and 22-23 with the New Jersey Devils, he had 20 goals, 28 assists for 48 points. Tomas Tatar is still at a good age, 32 years old. He's 5'10", 183 pounds. He scored 20 goals for 7 times in his career. He's good for about 30 to 50 points on a good year. So don't expect him to put up 60, 70 points. Not saying it can't happen. But, looking at his track record over the past couple of years, he's been that 30 to 50 point guy. And, he does very well for that point range. He's a versatile player. He can play your left or the right side. And the thing I love most about Tomas Tatar, you can play him anywhere in your lineup. You can play him on your first line, your second line, your third line, your fourth line. You can match him up with your best players. You can play him with your third, fourth line guys. And he plays well. He really does. He gets along with the whole team. He plays well. He battles. He competes. He can still score some goals and some clutch goals. I'll be at it. He scored some late goals for us this year. I'm going to miss Tuna. I really like Tomas Tatar. He added a lot to this team. Every interview he did, every time he talked about his game, his teammates, you always saw that infectious smile on his face. And it radiated positivity in the lineup and, in the locker room as well. And the guys loved him. The fans loved him. Everybody loved him. And, with the Devils, the way they worked the offseason, they were able to bring back their best, Bratt and Meyer on their long-term deals. They were able to bring in Toffoli. And they have some prospects at forward that they want to incorporate in their system. So the writing was on the wall for Tomas Tatar to not return, but, us Devil fans are going to miss Tomas Tatar. He's going to be a great asset to the Colorado Avalanche, and I really like what it does to their lineup. They made a lot of good moves this year, bringing in Ryan Johansson, Miles Wood, Ross Colton, Jonathan Drouin. So if you're looking at a possible line combination of Miles Wood, Ross Colton, and Tomas Tatar, that's a good third line. And, he can play anywhere in the lineup. Like I said before, he can play with your best players. He can play with your bottom line guys. He's going to be an asset to this team. And, I wish Tomas Tatar the best out west playing with the Colorado Avalanche. He did well choosing a good team because this team is really built for a Stanley Cup run. And if Landeskog can come back, this is going to be a really dangerous team come playoff time. So best of luck, Tomas Tatar. We'll miss you. And how this impacts the Devils going forward. There's going to be an open roster spot with Tomas Tatar's exit. And, the Devils have a lot of prospects that can fill those shoes. Most notably, Alexander Holtz. Nolan Foote is being really talked up by Tom Fitzgerald this offseason. Graeme Clarke, they've done interviews with him, and he said he's ready. He's worked his tail off this offseason to really battle and compete for a spot. Then you have Tyce Thompson as well. So the Devils have inside competition that's really going to push Alexander Holtz to make this team. I've done a prior video on Alexander Holtz. I'll link it at the end of this video, talking about how the Devils have been monitoring his training this offseason, and I really feel like he's really going to take this season and run with it, because the way things are lining up, our top six is kind of set up, and you have possibly a third line where you have Andre Palat, Eric Haula, and Alexander Holtz. I think that's the best situation for Alexander Holtz, playing with two veteran players, playing with two players that can play well on the on the offensive side of things and the defensive side of things. When you have a young player coming in and trying to find his way, playing with two very good, sound two-way players, I think it's really going to have Alexander Holtz take off this year. I really do. I think it's going to be better than the past couple of years where you're trying to pin him with, playing with Hischier and Hughes, or Hischier or Hughes, to try to find success with them. And when it didn't happen, you kind of like, where are we going to put him? And, this year, it's just such a perfect fit if he can play with these two guys and really help him find his game and grow. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Alexander Holtz does. But Tom Fitzgerald has talked about Holtz recently, saying that it was easy to identify that what we call the pillars. We believe Holtz will be a pillar for the New Jersey Devils. So, I like this. I like it for a lot of things. Fitzgerald could have played it safe. He could have brought back Tomas Tatar and had a really good top nine. But with this, the Devils have not only good defensive prospects, they have good goaltending prospects, but you have good forward prospects. You have these four that I mentioned with Holtz, with Thompson, with Clarke, and Foote. You also have Chase Stillman coming up. You also have Philman coming up. And you also have Griciuk, who's playing in the KHL, who give him some time. The Devils, they're going to be really good and for a very long time. And, I know a lot of Devils fans are clamoring over our defensive prospects of Luke Hughes and Shimon Nemitz, but our forward prospects are really promising as well. So I like what this does for the Devils. It shows Tom Fitzgerald has given these young prospects some confidence, some ability to find their game and train hard in the offseason and really earn that spot, and also have that competition within the prospect pool of who's going to take that spot and run with it. So I like this. I really do. I like this all around. I like this for Tomas Tatar finding a really good team to play with. I like what this does for the Colorado Avalanche. And I also really like what this does for the Devils. It gives them another prospect to look forward to. Devils fans, another good prospect to look forward to. We want to see Holtz find success, and I really feel like this is going to be a good year for him. I really do. I believe that Holtz will find his way, and especially playing with players who can really help him establish his game. So comment below. What do you think about all this news? What do you think about Tomas Tatar signing with the Colorado Avalanche? And what do you think about Alexander Holtz possibly just taking that spot and running with this season for the New Jersey Devils? Comment below and let me know. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate your time. Smash that like button if you haven't done so, and subscribe to the Hockey Skate Down. It's free, and join our hockey team. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great night. Take it easy. Stay safe.